Hey guys, Ryan right here.
And Alyssa be crazy.
She's back.
I am.
A lot of people, Alyssa be back. A lot of people
back.
have been wondering
Feels
where she's
good.
been. And, well, she, prostitution can be a busy game sometimes.
True.
So, she's been a prostitute and then she had to go through this whole thing. There's a baby involved and then she had to, you know, some stuff that some Republicans are against, she had to go do.
If you guys are actually wondering what happened, like legitimately wondering, I actually posted a little thing on my Facebook fan page.
We're gonna watch this video. You know, like I was told Alyssa recently how much I love her as a friend. And
I love you.
to this day, I still love her.
Yeah.
See what I did? I transitioned into this video called, right? That's what it's called, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It is called
Where
To
we
This
put it?
Day by Shane Koyczan or something. I don't know. Apparently he's some
What?
famous YouTuber. There's been this guy who's named Christian Renata who has asked me 1 billion times to watch this. So this is mainly for you, Christian Renata. See, I go by most requested.
Okay.
And so far on all these comment boxes, this is the most requested one.
There's just some ones that just stick out and they jump at you and they won't go away and they stick.
And this is kind of a long video, so I'm going to watch this right now.
With me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To this day. Cute.
When I was a kid, I used to think that pork chops and karate chops were the same thing. I thought they were both pork chops. And because my grandmother thought it was cute, and because they were my favorite, she let me keep doing it. Not really a big deal. One day, before I realized fat kids are not designed to climb trees, I fell out of a tree and bruised the right side of my body. I didn't want to tell my grandmother about it because I was scared I'd get in trouble for playing somewhere I shouldn't have been. A few days later, the gym teacher noticed the bruise and I got sent to the principal's office.
Wait. The mic is on, people.
From there, I was sent to another small room with a really nice lady who asked me all kinds of questions about my life at home. I saw no reason to lie. As far as I was concerned, life was pretty good. I told her whenever I'm sad, my grandmother gives me karate chops. This led to a full-scale investigation, and I was removed from the house for 3 days until they finally decided to ask how I got the bruises. News of this silly little story quickly spread through the school, and I earned my first nickname, Pork Chop. To this day, I hate pork chops. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way. Surrounded by people who used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones. As if broken bones hurt more than the names we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing no one would ever fall in love with us. That we'd be lonely forever. That we'd never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something they built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blues as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken bone. That an ingrown life is something the surgeons can cut away. That there's no way for it to metastasize, it does. She was 8 years old. Our first day of grade 3 when she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of class so we would stop getting bombarded by spitballs. School halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside we'd have to rehearse running away or learn to stay still like statues, giving no clues that we were there in grade 5. They taped a sign to the front of her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think she's beautiful. Because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half her face. Kids used to say she looks like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. And they'll never understand that she's raising
So
two kids whose definition
Why are you
of beauty
laughing?
begins with the word mom.
This is like
Because they see her heart before they see her skin. Because she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch grafted onto a different family tree. Adopted. Not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when he became a mixed drink of 1 part left alone and 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade. Had a personality made up of tests and pills. Lived like the uphills were mountains and the downhills were cliffs. 4/5 suicidal, a tidal wave of antidepressants, and an adolescence being called pauper. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10 when a kid who could still go home to mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, get over it. As if depression is something that can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he's a stick of TNT lit from both ends. Could describe to in detail the way the sky bends in the moments before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who all call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece between people who can't understand. Sometimes being drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were, hey stupid, hey spaz. Seems like every school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. And if a kid breaks in a school and no one around chooses to hear, do they make a sound? Or they're just background noise from a soundtrack stuck on repeat when people say things like kids can be cruel. Every school was a big top circus tent, and the pecking order went from acrobats to lion tamers, from clowns to carnies. All of these miles ahead of who we were freaks. Lobster clawed boys and bearded ladies. Oddities juggling depression and loneliness, playing solitaire, spinning the bottle, trying to kiss the wounded parts of ourselves and heal. But at night, while the others slept, we kept walking the tightrope. It was practice, and yes, some of us fell. But I want to tell them that all of this is just debris left over when we finally decide to smash all the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer. Stare a little longer. Because there's something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart inside of yourself. You decided they were raw. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they decided to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell but never told. Because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were wrong. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from a root planted in the belief that we are not what we were called. We are not abandoned cars stalled out and sitting empty on some highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We only got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of we made it. Not the faded echoes of voices crying out names will never hurt me. Of course, they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty.
That was beautiful.
It was. I was getting really depressed, and I started laughing because I was like, don't cry again on camera.
I know you were doing that like nervous laugh that you do when you don't know what to do.
I was like, oh my god, I'm going to cry again. And then I was like, no, I've cried like 5 times already in the past 2 months. I'm not crying again. But, yep.
That was beautiful. And so well done. The imagery was incredible.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I thought they were recommending I watch something like really funny.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, pork chops. Can't anything be wrong
so
with
at first
pork
I was
chops?
like,
no.
I was like, is this another like weird, gonna be really violent viral video? And then it was like, I'm not gonna go into detail about stuff, but there was a lot in there that more than just an emotion, but literally related to. That
it's true.
I was like, that's why I started laughing, because I was like, I'm gonna cry again.
No, I know. It's like, because we've actually talked about our childhoods growing up are very, very similar in terms of like how we handled things and what happened to us growing up in school. That struck a chord.
Yeah.
And
why do you think we're so sarcastic? Why do you think we make so many jokes?
We learned
We learn to repress our emotions.
Yeah.
And just express it through humor.
I think the biggest thing that hit with me was not going outside for break because outside is worse. I did that. I was actually bullied out of my elementary school when I was younger, and that's one of the things I did. I wouldn't ever go outside because I didn't want to be bullied, so I'd stay inside with the teachers. It was like...
You okay?
Yeah. There are certain people that know exactly what to say and how to say it to speak the truth. Not necessarily that this is the truth for everybody, but we can all relate to that somehow.
I don't know, my feelings just, they kind of spiral when it comes to this video. I really am against, out of personal experience of what it's done to me, of when someone is feeling a lot, instead of being listened to and understood, and having someone just speak to them and get to know them better and try to understand why they have that pain. I think that's much better to do than immediately tell someone, get over it, don't feel that way. Well, here's how you should feel. Like, they know all that already. There's no point in telling them that. Like, people want to be...
Well, people just don't want to deal with the pain that isn't theirs.
You know, when someone's going through that, I think the best thing to let them do is feel it so they don't have to go down such dark paths. And yeah, the whole thing with parents being, like, not understanding it and not getting it. Medication, like, I've had, yeah. And one thing that really hit me too was, like I said, I'm just gonna leave a bunch of clues. And one thing that really hit too was, like, a big part of being, what was it? Something about being drug free is your sanity, is more a focus on your sanity than being drug free. When I've had to kick certain habits, the more that happened, like, I did feel more of a sanity come to play. At first you feel fucking insane, but then you do feel a sanity come to play. And it's like, just the idea, we all know what it's like to feel lonely. We all understand that. The degree of it is what really matters.
Yeah. There's a big difference between sadness and depression, and those who haven't really experienced true depression, it's not exactly something you can really understand. Like, you can be there and listen and try to feel it, but unless you're going through it, it's something all its own.
Everyone's felt depressed before, but when depression for a long period of time has actually been your lifestyle and your comfort zone, that's when it's an issue.
You never want to go outside.
Yeah.
You don't want to even talk to anybody on the phone. Like, it's little things as simple as that can change a person.
I grew up with bullying as well. Jerry really grew up with bullying, just to reveal his personal life on camera. I definitely get it. I get it all. And like, these past few weeks, I've actually been doing a lot of stuff of, like, getting back in touch with my feelings a lot. Like, seeing this was like, oh, it makes sense why I'm watching this now, because of what I've been doing lately and feeling, because it's a good way to let you know, like, hey, I know I've been working on myself a lot. And sometimes when you work on yourself a lot, you feel like the darkness in you is not understood still. But then when you see something like this, it's like, oh, you know, like, this is powerful. This is a great expression to where you can feel the emotion. It's like, it gives people an opportunity to feel something and feel understood, who are going through that, who might not get that from people in their actual life. This whole time, I've been trying not to cry, and mission accomplished. Because it's hard to be honest with yourself and not cry at the same time.
It's true. It's true.
Like, I'm pretty proud of myself, because I literally have cried like 5 times on this channel. If you guys can find all 5, you let me know. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this video up, guys. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects, where every episode is this serious. Check out Alyssa Be Crazy's channel, where there's a lot of fun vlogs and challenges, and she's going to be incorporating some new stuff soon, so keep a lookout.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
As for shout-outs, ran out of shout-outs to do. Pretty sure I missed some of you guys. So, to make things easier so I don't miss anyone ever again, go to facebook.com/TheReelRejects shout-outs. We need to bring the shout-outs back.
There's a whole page dedicated to shout-outs for you guys. Utilize it!
People are like, I don't have a Facebook. Well, it takes like a minute.
Yeah, it takes like a minute.
It takes like a minute. Well, how do we end this video on a joke?
After seeing that, I don't know if we can.
Sure we can. Classic one from my daddy. How did Captain Hook die? Told this joke like 14 times on this channel. How did Captain Hook die? He wiped his ass with the wrong hand.
You have told this joke.
It's a brilliant joke. Bam, we did it. Video
Okay.
still ends on a funny one.